Okay, we are starting with Chapter 7, which is Anatomy and Physiology. And this first video is on half of Section 7.1. It's on the introduction and on the cells. So the objectives at the end of this, you should be able to label a diagram of the main parts of a cell and describe the basic function of each part of a cell. The human body is like an efficient, organized machine. When the machine malfunctions, of course, disease occurs. Understanding of anatomy and physiology is essential to understanding disease process. So anatomy and physiology is so important for any medical field that you go into. You'll probably have to take anatomy and physiology in college. So this will give you a good basic understanding of anatomy and physiology and will help you when you take it at the college level. The anatomy is the study of form and structures of organisms. Physiology is the study of processes of living organisms. And pathophysiology is the study of how disease occurs and the body's response. So anatomy can be the study of your bones, your muscles, your organs. Physiology is how it works together, how the organs work together. And then the pathophysiology is the diseases that can occur and how the body responds to that. There's different types of disease types, and there's congenital, which is acquired during development of the infant in the uterus and existing at or dating from birth. So it's something that somebody is born with, such as cleft foot, cleft palate, or lip due to alcohol syndrome. Inherited is transmitted from parents to child genetically. So it could include color blindness, hemophilia, cystic fibrosis, or Down syndrome. So with inherited, it's in your genes. Infectious is caused by pathogenic organisms such as a bacteria or virus, such as the common cold, hepatitis, sexual transmitted infections, COVID-19. Degenerative is caused by deterioration of the function or structure of body tissues and organs, either by normal body aging or lifestyle choices such as diet and exercise. So it can include COPD, osteoarthritis, regular arthritis. There's diagnosis, and that's identifying the disease or stating what it is. So when you go to the doctors, you are diagnosed. Etiology is the cause of the disease. What causes it? There's idiopathic, which is the cause is unknown, and there's also iatrogenic. The disease is caused by prescribed treatment, such as somebody could have anemia due to chemotherapy. Prognosis is a prediction of the probable course and or the expected outcome of the disease. So what's the prognosis of the patient? It may be that they may die within 3 months. It may be their prognosis is good and they should recover fully in 2 months. Their prognosis may be unknown. They don't know how they will respond to it. So that's what the prognosis is. There are cells, and protoplasma is the basic substance of life. It makes up all living things. It's made of ordinary elements such as carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. Scientists can combine all those elements, but they cannot create life. Cells are made of protoplasm. They're microscopic structures. They carry on all functions of life. And the body contains trillions of cells. They vary in shape and sizes, and they perform different functions. Some of their functions include they take in food and oxygen, they produce heat and energy, they move and adapt to their environment, they eliminate waste, they perform special functions, and they reproduce to create new and identical cells. So there's different parts of a cell. You first have the cell membrane, which is the outer protective covering of the cells. It also can be called the plasma membrane most often, or plasmalemma. It is semi-permeable, which means it allows certain substances to enter and leave the cell while preventing the passage of other substances. So it will allow certain things in, and it will keep certain things out, or it will keep certain substances in the cell, whereas other substances will be able to leave the cell. The cytoplasm is the semi-fluid inside the cell, but outside the nucleus. It contains water, proteins, lipids, carbs, minerals, and salts. It's the site for all chemical reactions that take place in the cell. So you have organelles, and they are the cell structures that help a cell to function. They are located in the cytoplasma and include the nucleus, which is the blue area, this large blue part here, the mitochondria, which is this yellow and blue here, ribosomes, which are the little dots here, lysosomes, which are this blue one right here, the small one, centrioles right here, the Golgi apparatus, which is this purple, and the endoplasmic reticulum, which is this blue, or I'm sorry, I don't know my colors, orange and purple. The nucleus, which is this large blue one all over, it has a nuclear membrane that contains pores to allow substances to pass between the nucleus and the cytoplasma. It is the brain of the cell, and it controls many cell activities. It's important in the process of the mitosis, which we'll talk about later on, and mitosis is also its cell division. So the nucleolus is this dark purple right here in the center of the nucleus. There could be one or more small round bodies located in the nucleus, and it is important for cell reproduction. Ribosomes, made of ribonucleic acid, or RNA, and proteins are manufactured in the nucleolus. Ribosomes move from the nucleus to the cytoplasma, where they aid in the synthesis or the production of protein. They can exist freely in the cytoplasma or be attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, and I'll show you that more later on. Chromatin, which are chromosome genomes, are located in the nucleus and made of deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA. During cell reproduction, the chromatin condenses to form rod-like structures called chromosomes. A human cell has 46 chromosomes, or 23 pairs. Each chromosome contains between 30,000 to 45,000 genes, which are the structures that carry inherited characteristics. So your genes help to decide whether you have blue eyes or brown eyes, or if you have brown hair or blonde hair, if you're pale skin or if you have a darker skin, if can you roll your tongue or not, will be all in your genes. DNA sequence carries the genetic coding that allows for exact duplication of the cells. A genome is the total mass of genetic instruction humans inherit from their parents. It consists of strings of DNA nucleotides. And a human has 3 billion nucleotides in their genome. So down here you have your cell, you have your chromosomes in your cell, and then your chromosomes make up your DNA or your genome. And you got a gene here. In that gene, you have all your characteristics. A centrosome is located in the cytoplasma and near the nucleus. It contains 2 centrioles. During mitosis or cell division, the centrioles separate. Then the cytoplasmic spindle fibers form between the centrioles and attach to the chromosomes. And we'll talk about that more in the next video. This creates an even division of the chromosomes into 2 new cells. We have the mitochondria, which is this yellow and blue right here. And this is also what the mitochondria looks like. It's a rod-shaped organelles located throughout the cytoplasma. They are considered to be the furnaces or the powerhouses of the cell because they break down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats to produce ATP, which is a major energy source for cells. So you can see here's one and here's another one here. A cell can contain just 1 to more than 1,000, depending on how much energy the cell requires. So if that cell requires more energy, it's going to have more mitochondria in it. You have the Golgi apparatus, which is right down here. And it's a stack of membrane layers located in the cytoplasma. It produces, stores, and packages secretions for discharge from the cell. Cells of the salivary, gastric, which is your stomach, and pancreatic glands have a large number of Golgi apparatus. And then you have your endoplasmic reticulum, which is a fine network of tubular structures located in the cytoplasma. Here you have one and this purple. Here's another example down here of what they look like. The network allows for the transportation. The network allows for the transport of materials into and out of the nucleus and aids in the synthesis and storage of proteins. Rough endoplasmic reticulum contains ribosomes, which are the sites for protein synthesis or protein production. So here's a rough one. You can see the little black dots on it. This orange one is a rough one, too, and the black dots are the ribosomes. And then you also see black dots throughout the cytoplasma, which is also the ribosomes. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum does not contain ribosomes and is not present in all cells. So you have a smooth one down here, you can see what it looks like, and then this purple one here. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it assists with cholesterol synthesis, fat metabolism, and detoxification of drugs. So remember, the smooth is not present in all cells. Then you have the vacuoles. Here is this one, this green circle here. It's a pouch-like structure found throughout the cytoplasma that have vacuolar membrane with the same structure as the cell membrane. It is filled with a watery substance, stored food, or waste products. The lysosomes appear in this picture. It's right here. You can see where it's highlighted. It's oval or round bodies found throughout the cytoplasma. Structures contain digestive enzymes that digest and destroy old cells, bacteria, and foreign matter, an important function of the body's immune system. It fuses with stored food vacuoles to convert the food to a form that can be used by the mitochondria to produce ATP, which is energy. You have the pinocytic vesicles. They are pocket-like folds in the cell membrane. The folds allow large molecules, such as proteins and fats, into the cells. When such molecules are inside the cell, the folds close, form vacuoles or bubbles in the cytoplasm. So here you have the pocket-like folds in the cell membrane, and it has a substance in it, so it releases and it forms that vacuoles. When the cell needs energy, the vesicles fuse with lysosomes to allow the proteins and fats to be digested and used by the mitochondria to produce ATP. Okay, so we're going to review here. So the cytoplasma is here, all this green here, and it's the semi-fluid inside the cell, but outside the nucleus. You have the nucleus, which is the large blue, and remember it's the brain of the cell. You have the nucleolus, which is inside the nucleus, and remember you can have one or more. And it's inside the nucleus, so it's important for cell reproduction. You have the chromatin, which is made of DNA and proteins. You have the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse, and it produces ATP, which is, remember, the ATP is energy that the cell uses. You have the Golgi apparatus, which is this purple one here, and it produces, stores, and packages secretions for discharge from the cell. You have the endoplasmic reticulum. The purple one is smooth. The rough one is orange. Remember, the rough one has ribosomes on it, and the smooth one is not found in all cells. It allows for transport of materials into and out of the nucleus. It aids in the synthesis and storage of proteins. You have the lysosomes, which is this one here, and it contains digestive enzymes that digest and destroy old cells. And that is it for today. So make sure you go ahead and do your homework. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know.